Hey everyone, welcome to What's Happening This Week in Real Estate. I've got Conrad Zerini with REMAX Escarpment and REMAX Niagara, and Brian Hogman with Mission 35 Mortgages, and myself. So we're like just coming up to Christmas. It's coming up. I still got lots of time before I do my Christmas shopping. I think I usually do it on the 24th. I try to make it a tradition. But I end up spending a little bit more money than I should, but it makes the decision a little easier and faster when I leave it for last minute. So
good idea.
I'm sure there's a lot of people out there. But Conrad, you were just saying that there's an article in today's paper about 40% of the people.
45% of people can afford in Canada. It's an RBC study. 45% of people can afford a condo. And only 26% can afford a single-family home in Canada right now. So,
Insane.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know what? I noticed just like Conrad, just in the past week, there's been a little bit of a flurry of activity in sales. Am I correct on that?
We've seen some multiple offers now. Interestingly enough, we've been getting some calls from our agents, because now there's open offers and things like that. It's closed. It's all, I haven't seen anybody that I know of using that open offer tool in the toolbox. But we've seen some multiple offers, and there's been some activity. I think some of those savvy, smart buyers are realizing that there ain't going to be a better time, man, especially if we roll back rates in the new year, right?
You know what? The one thing I'm going to say is that right now, I mean, I know realtors always say, this is the best time to buy, best time to buy, best time to buy. I really don't think it's a great time to sell right now. If you can hang on and wait till maybe February to put your house on the middle of January and February. But I do feel right now, as we speak, especially in the past 60 days and now, and maybe you might have a couple weeks in January, maybe not, that if you buy a house now, you will look back in 6 months and say, I'm glad I bought, because like the market is going to be good this year. It's not going to be like 1990. It's a different dynamics from then. Back then, there was no housing crisis. There's no shortage of homes. There's no major immigration. There's none of that. Right now, the government controlled the interest rates to slow things down because they didn't want to keep housing going up. And I think it's adjusted itself pretty well. Because it was floating. It was floating with what, 2 to 3-4% all year, just bouncing around.
Month to
And
month.
everybody, if you think there's going to be a crash, you're wrong. Buy real estate. And here's the other thing. This is a Niagara Falls property I want to talk about. Even some of the, I shouldn't say the lowest priced homes. In 2010, this house on Martin Street, Niagara Falls, which we call it Silvertown in Niagara Falls, if people don't know where it is. And 2010, this house sold for $73,000. 2014, 4 years later, $112,500. Okay, now 9 years later, $425,000. It sold. $425,000 sold this year. Now, the numbers are jumping rapidly. And I'm telling you. So I saw one property that was on Burton Street that sold this year for $245,000. Looked nice inside. Okay, not the greatest area in North Hamilton.
I say it's close to work. When I used to advertise, say close to work, walking distance from work.
I'm going to use that. I'm going to use that. So this house sold for $245,000. Those houses, $245,000. That's easy. You can rent that out easily, cash flowing, and this and that.
Oh, totally.
Everybody should be scooping those up. That house was on the market, I don't know how many days, like 30 days before somebody even jumped in on it.
Crazy.
I can't believe I missed it, because those little ones, they're like little scraps that people left behind, and I should have bought. But the one thing I'm saying is there's still good deals out there in the especially Hamilton, Niagara, Brantford. I know Burlington's getting a little tougher, but right now, if you're going to buy in Burlington, you got to do it. Falcon, we just sold one.
Nice. That's
that one there. I mean, we had it for sale. Timing was not the right for the sellers, but they wanted to sell, and that house should have sold for 1.15 minimum. This house can go back up for sale probably in 6 months or 4 months, and they can get that. So if you want to make money in Burlington, buy today and sell it in 3 months, and you can make probably 100, 200 grand there. But
absolutely.
But Conrad, like this thing you were saying about the newspaper article. 45% can only afford.
Which is crazy because it used to be 60% back in 2019, and that could buy a condo, just a condo. The other fun fact, if you want to call it that, they say 84% Toronto to buy in Toronto takes 84% of your income to run your household, and in Vancouver it's 102% of your income in Vancouver. And it's funny when the federal government talks about these houses. We talked about it briefly once. Those houses that they want to build, those they called them strawberry houses, the wartime homes. Like during that period, they had all hands on deck. They only built 700,000 in 10 years. We're short like 5.8 million houses. Like, are they kidding me? Like, the fundamentals for real estate are strong. And people are going to remember this 2023 fall of 2023, the trough. It's going to be pretty crazy going forward, no question.
So think about this. I guess in the 50s and 60s and 70s, one income, one spouse, husband goes to work, wife at home, raising the kids. Then in the 80s, the spouse starts getting a job, house prices start going up. 2 incomes per family household. Would you say it was about the 80s that happened, Conrad?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah,
the 80s. So now you got dual income with the power to buy a house. So if everybody's doing
kids, kids, you had more kids back then than you do now. So
so house prices go up. Now you have to have an apartment in the basement to afford it, which is driving the price up. So now the government's saying, okay, you can build a duplex or fourplex, four units on your property. So that's going to drive the price up because now you got more income. It's going to drive the price up.
Yeah.
It's almost like you have to get a new spouse, extra spouses. That's what they're doing. Is that in my dreams? That's in my dreams.
I think you got to be in Utah for that. But that's
that's a different book. That's a different movie.
Okay. Wife number 1 makes money. Wife number 2 makes money. Wife number 3. We can afford houses now. That's it. But I mean, but that's what's driving the prices up.
That's resourceful.
Yeah, that's what's driving the prices up. So anyway, it's just like I said, if you're going to look back at this time thinking you should have bought because
don't get too caught up with what Tiff Macklin's saying too, because he's got to keep the narrative strong because he's like he's like going this way and that way.
Oh my God, that guy! You don't know. You read the article. It's like, okay, like make up your mind. Which way? Like just.
Well, and I think because inflation numbers came out, they stayed the same. And I think for everybody, just be aware because I agree that this market's about ready to take off like a rocket. But I think you're still probably going to get bad news again in January because people are going to spend money in December. Just it's going to happen. Not as natural. Much. So when inflationary numbers come out in January, the narrative will probably be the same. Be like, ooh, we're not going to drop yet. Maybe we'll raise them, right? But then when January numbers come out in February for March, that'll be when when you'll see the real bad news come. And then you'll probably start to see the fall.
Brian, have you seen a little bit more activity just in the past week on people for mortgages? That's just a little bit of the taste that's going to happen in the new year.
Yeah,
that's a little taste. So if you're listening, I'm telling you, get in now before it's going to be multiple. Maybe not multiple offers, but you're not going to be able to negotiate like you can right now. You're not going to be able to.
No. The other thing is we're not going to see that mortgage again. Like, that what I call mortgage again, like the payment thing that people are going to default. Only 18% of the mortgages are coming due next year. Okay. With them rolling back rates, probably they're talking April. And I know you're right. Tiff just goes flops back and forth. But Jay Powell is 100%. He talked about 3 reductions next year, and they're moving ahead. And their inflation is very similar to Canada. It's probably even slightly higher. So
and that was good. The Fed holding, so that's great for us.
That's phenomenal news. So it'll be interesting. So you're right. It's going to be incremental. I agree with you, Rob. It's not going to be like shoot off like a cannon or like a rocket, but it'll be incremental, definitely, for sure. Yeah.
Awesome. One other thing. Okay, Brian, we're looking to grow our team, and Conrad, people are always joining. I just want to say things out there. If you're a realtor listening to this show, and you're struggling, or you know what, you're sitting on the fence, your broker's not doing anything. I just want to say one thing, and this is not to pump you up, Conrad, but the training that you give and the knowledge that you give, not many brokers do that.
Well,
you're 110% committed, and I love that. That's why I like being associated with you. Ourselves, the same thing. If you if you're struggling and you're looking at possibly not sure if this business is for you, come see us, come see Conrad or whatever, and we will sit down with you. There's no obligation. It's not like there's a pressure situation. We're going to pressure you to sign anything. But the stuff that we offer between Conrad and myself and Brian, and you're the same way. Like, you've got like top performing mortgage brokers that work with you. I mean, like, you're not just doors open. Everybody comes in. You actually pick them. You say no to more of them than say yes. So,
yeah, we do. Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So we've said, and same thing with us. Like, they got to be the right fit, the right culture, and everything else like that. And I know how you guys run your business, and that's why I like being affiliated with you guys.
I think we all run paranoid. I think the beauty is we never stand on your success. And look, to have an opportunity to work with the #1 agent in Canada, which is you, Rob, is pretty. And to have time with you and your mentorship and the rest of your team and your organization is a privilege. And as we go into this another year of, again, I'm not saying it's uncertainty, but again, market compression, you need that deep rooted knowledge and experience, and the same thing goes for Brian and his team. And there's you can't get away from that. This is going to really separate like the real professional realtor from the one that's just and part-time, and because this market is shifts dramatically, and we could see another rate increase, God bless us, if inflation doesn't do it. And you got to be there to coach people along, and you got to be working with experienced people, and that's what's going to make the difference going forward. I think for the next 10 years, I don't think it's just a flash in the pan. I think this is the next 10 years of very strategic from a mortgage perspective and from buying, and there's no question, Rob, your team is very strategic. You're strategic, and it trickles down to all your people. So kudos to you.
And systematic when it comes down to it. Because I think the systems that you need to have right now are more important than ever. And Rob, I know we get to brainstorm a lot, the three of us, Conrad. When it comes down to the systems, especially in these, yours are tried and true. They work. And I think, too, for people that are struggling in the industry right now, it would really be a shame to leave it. Because I tell people all the time, over the past 12, 18, 24 months, you've learned a lot. Like, there's been a lot of learning that's happened. And if you leave right now, shame on you, because you know what?
See us before you leave.
Yes,
see us.
100%.
Like,
100%.
if you see Conrad, or you see me, or see Brian, if you're in the mortgage business, see Brian. See Conrad if you're in a real estate. If you're a real estate realtor, agent, or myself, see us before you even think about jumping out and working that 9-to-5 job for the rest of your life. Because you will say, I was a realtor, and it's always going to be the back of your mind that you didn't give it a chance. And I'll tell you, I'll give you a story. When I was in the beauty supply business, right, and I didn't know that business well. And I got into that business, and I put a ton of money into that business, guys. I put a ton of money. Now, there's a line, like, and I sold, stuff like furniture and all the beauty stuff, like the products to hair salons and everything. So if you wanted to open up a salon, I could fully equip you and everything. But on the regular weekly basis, you would supply these salons with different products. The one product line that I was working hard to get, it was called Schwarzkopf. Yeah. And Schwarzkopf's a big line. Women know about this because that's a lot of the salons use that for their hair color. Now, if you have this line, I was in that beauty supply circle that I could go head on with all the major other big beauty supply companies. So at the end of it, I put so much money into it. I lost so much money. I finally did get the Schwarzkopf line.
Oh,
and when
really?
they called me. when they called me. They called me. I was literally out of money. They called me, and I said, "Thank you, but I'm getting out of this business." And so my life changed. Like, who knows where it would it be if I actually stuck it out? And Conrad, like Brian, you may not be old enough to know about like how tough the early '90s were. They were tough years, and I got beat up. I was young. I got beat up pretty bad. And I think that's what helped me today. So that was my
100%.
That was my MBA in business, and that's what helped me today. Now, if I did pursue that and take that line, Schwarzkopf line on, I mean, who knows what would have happened? See how I'm thinking right now? Who knows? Don't do that in real estate.
Great story.
You know what I mean? Don't do that in real estate. Stick it out. Find the right path. Find the right connection, and you will make it. This business is made for everyone. It's just you need the right guidance. A lot of people don't have the right guidance, and that's what makes the difference. But like I'll tell you, like I have other brokers from outside of our trading area, like that know you, Conrad, and they say you are one of the best brokers in Canada, and I know that because I experience it. But I'll tell you, most these guys, because they see and follow you, and they know what you do. So, guys, if you're thinking of leaving, don't leave. Call one of us.
Absolutely. Love to hear from you. Totally. Yeah. And you, like you said, you got that brain trust. Don't let it go to waste. Rob, your story is very poignant, right? Because you know what, we rise out of the ashes, the phoenix from the ashes kind of thing. And you were at that pivotal point. You know, you're lucky you ran out of money.
Yes.
You're lucky. You're lucky you ran out of money because it motivated you to like kick ass in this industry. And we're lucky to have you and that you ran out of money.
So there you go. This is where I landed right here.
Yes,
That's it. Yeah. Guys, listen, I really appreciate you guys being on, and I want to wish you and your family a Merry Christmas and happy holidays, and we'll see each other in the new year, guys. It's fantastic. I love what we do, and we got to do it. We got to do it maybe once a day. No, I'm just kidding. Anyway, guys, take care.
Happy holidays, guys.
Happy holidays, everyone. Thanks all our clients. Thank you.